How are you doing, Internet? I'm B-Nuts, and today I'll be taking a look and reviewing this right here. This is a Neko Busou Tenkomori. It's actually the first set of, currently there are 2 sets of this kind of armed cat kit by Bandai. And what's interesting about it is that the cats are apparently modeled after cats owned by employees at Bandai. But the reason why this exists in the first place is because Japan is just crazy about them cats. As you can probably surmise by the hodgepodge mess that I have there on that Figma stand, this is not the way that you're supposed to assemble all the parts. But I wanted to make sure that I had the A, B, C, and D units in a way that would be easy to disassemble and then reassemble, so that I could show you what they were. So basically, what you have in here is very simple set of assembly instructions, and one side is to assemble the individual units, as I said before, A, B, C, and D, but only in one mode. If you want to be able to get the other mode, you'd have to get them separately. And then you have this one for the complete mode that it's supposed to be at. With the second set of Neko Busou, it's more of a random blind buy, unless you get all of them. But in any case, if you get the Tenkomori, which is all of them, you only get 1 cat. You do get all of the units, but only 1 cat. I've taken the units and separated them from the cat so that you can see them all in their glory. And you can also see how they're supposed to be separated. So the first one, Unit A, according to the instructions here, is this one. And you can see this central unit here is fairly simple, at least from what you can see here, but the assembly of it does take a little bit while. You can see that they're all very simple solid colors, and there aren't any stickers that come with them. For articulation, all you've got on the A unit is this goes all the way around, this same thing there, and the turret goes around. There's a hinge there so it can aim up and down slightly, unless you want to do it like that. And it's got more. You've also got this hinge here in the main unit again, and something down here as well, and this hinge so you can attach stuff there. And if you wanted it to attach to a cat as it is, you basically just have to sub out this part for the cat. So of course, the way that you do that is going to depend a lot upon the cat's carrier. The B unit is this hovercraft type. It has separate pieces here on the wings, which can move like that. It's just pegged in there. It's not very secure. And just like the other one, it has these hinges like that. And then a little turret here, which can go side to side. And there's a hinge there so it can aim down. And then all these joints, which are for attaching. You've also got these, which form a claw on its other mode. The C unit, which is the helicopter. The blades can be moved independently. The rotors. And then you have these parts which can swing out. And of course, this on a hinge And this is also a tilting hinge. And apart from the fact that you have these things which they don't have their own peg on the inside, attaching this one isn't going to be that without it without that black part in, it would be quite difficult, but since we have that, we can just interpose it in, or just put it out on the top. The D unit is the tank, and you have the turret can look up, down. This can also extend, so it can look all the way around. Of course, you've got those hollow places, and then the tracks just pegged on, and because those hinges can go everywhere, so can the tracks. Then the cat unit that you have, you also have the cockpit carrier. You can see the pod details. It's very detailed, but those eyes kind of have this disconcerting blank stare. And of course, the missile pods can go up and down, they can be detached. So you have all of these 3mm holes and pegs for everything. So you can basically put anything anywhere you want. In order to begin the assembly into the Tenkomori mode, you apparently have to reassemble the units like this. And one thing to note is that there are these hinged pegs on the missile pods, and you need to put them into this position. Actually, I think I put them upside down anyway. You're supposed to have the peg side up on there, and then you have this unit with the gun and these two from the copter, plus the little thing underneath there, one rotor with the gun here, and the little bracket thing that was here goes here now. That was attached with a simple peg. Then the dual cannon from the tank goes on to the other rotor, pretty simply. This is a little bit more complicated with the claw. This unit is oriented, I think, this way, more or less. But then again, you can swivel it around any way you want. The only problem here is that this doesn't seem to want to stay attached. And you have this unit here with another claw shovel type of thing with a little shield there, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. And the track from the tank. And these from the hovercraft unit. And then you would attach it all into this unit. So the first things they want you to attach to the cat carrier are this central turret here and the rotor turrets on these sides. And as you can see, the rotor turrets are actually attached to the missile pods there, onto that port there, and then attached there. So the blades in this form aren't actually operable, and they're also, kind of facing inward that way, but I suppose that makes for attachment points there for other parts. And it also wants to attach this somehow here, but I don't really see how. Anyway, we proceed onward with the next phase. The last phase is actually quite simple. You just peg the carrier down into there with the double-sided port there. It goes on there, and then these two arms go in, just pegged into the tracks on both sides using a peg that's there. And then you have this monstrosity. You still have a lot of the same articulation as before, although these arms can be aimed in and out. I did substitute back in that part here, and it's pegged into there so that it can hold on more solidly. Although that seems to be having some issues staying in, but it's all plastic on plastic anyway, so I don't know exactly how solid you expect these connections to be or to stay. The articulation is just going to be swivels and turns and limited by whatever's there on the plastic, but you can just swivel things out of the way in order to make the turns complete if you wanted to. Well, as complete as you can with immovable cat paws in the way. Rotate and turn anything pretty much anywhere, and even these treads aren't strictly stuck in the way that they are. And of course, because the missile pods can go up and down, so can the turrets, as well as going side to side. So this thing can aim all over the place. Although, good luck keeping things in one position as you're doing that. Now that the Tenkomori is assembled more or less in the way that it's supposed to be, it can stand on its own without having to use this as a stand, and so we can get a good look at it like this. Although I do have to admit, it is blending in with the wall rather well. That is a Neko Busou Tenkomori with everything that it comes with attached. Although, as I said, it doesn't come with instructions for the second mode on the separated parts. And this is going to take up a significant amount of space on your shelves, so please do be aware of that, because it's so wide. It's wider than it is deep. Though, of course, you can take this and reconfigure it in any way you want. Then what I've done is I've taken arms from out there, put them in here, shifted the missile pods up, and flipped the armor that was on the back down like that. And it covers the treads almost completely. It does make it narrower, but also maybe a little bit longer. So it's an exchange of one criteria for another. If you don't have as much shelf space wide, you can make it longer to compensate, or simply not use as many parts on this and make it simpler and smaller. That's also an option. So for comparison, here it is with most of the SDBF star winning, the RX0 Maru, the high grade, well, Sonata Scherzo Second Symphony, and the Scarlet Fever, as well as a Harupla. So you can see in size comparison with SD's standard size HG and something that's master grade size. Would I recommend this kit? If you're into cats or that kind of armor, that kind of simplistic armor, maybe you have an idea that you could use to customize this. So that might be good, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you can get it on sale, because it can run you about 20 bucks. If it's more like 15, then that's much better. But I definitely wouldn't recommend it full price, because then you're paying more than you really should for that. You know, it's really up to your taste and whether or not you like cats. You might also prefer one of the smaller sets, or the second set. And that is, of course, completely up to you. But if you do want a Neko Busou, you can get it from Hobby Link Japan, as I did. So that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like, comment below what you thought, subscribe to show your support for my channel, and visit my Patreon. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.